I'm leaving my 9 to 5. Now, what to do? First, I want to share with you my experience. Before I left my 9 to 5, I had to set my mindset in the right play. What I mean by that is that I had to look beyond my 9 to 5. I was reaching for something like I know some of you might be doing. YouTube might not be it for you, which is okay. You can still make it. You can still create wealth. And what I did was I was searching, and a friend told me, listen to podcasts. And when I started listening to podcasts, like mentors on podcasts, how to leave my 9 to 5 and make more income. And the income that I did was I took all my money out of my banks because it wasn't making none. I was just losing money in banks. Every time I saved, I was just losing money. I was chipping off. My car broke down. I had to chip out of that savings. I said, man, I'm just taking away. How can you save without? But I realized that I had to take my money. I kept my money in my checking account for my bills, of course, like my mortgage. That's it. And I took the rest of my money and put it into a high yield savings account. And it's making me money. So I have money sitting in an actual bank that's making me money. That's the first thing I had to do. That's the first start of me changing my mindset. I don't want to bombard you with all kinds of ideas of what I did by experience, so you won't get bombarded and be overwhelmed. And next thing you know, when it's time, you're going to be like, I don't know what to do. So what I did was leaving my 9 to 5. I kept on running my race. First, I put faith in God. Number 2, I invested in myself. How I invested in myself, I paid myself back first out of each check. I lived below my means. And like I said, I don't want to overload you, but I live below my means. I paid myself first before I paid these other companies. I took out $50. I didn't have much. And what I did with that $50, I opened up a high yield savings account. Some savings account only allow you to do so much. Like some savings accounts that's high yield say you have to put a minimum of 200 or you have to put a minimum of 500. So I built up to that minimum to where I thought was pleasing, and I opened up a high yield savings account. That saved me so much headache, guys. And I grabbed that card and I just put it away. I didn't worry about that card. I just kept, every time I got paid, I'll transfer that money through my job, my 9 to 5, because you know your 9 to 5 do direct deposit. I transferred that 50 back into that. I just kept feeding that savings, feeding it until it starts to grow. 4%. At that time, it was 4.75%. Now it's at 4%, and which is still good. So after I did that, my next step was I kept listening to podcasts, how to invest my money, how to start a home service business. And then I was listening to podcasts of something that I wanted to do. And I started a t-shirt company, which failed because I was spending way too much time printing shirts and selling them, making only $3, $4 here. I couldn't live off that. I needed some heavy money now because of my means of living. Even though I was living below my means of living was still freaking high. Even though I was living below, I still had a mortgage that's thousands. I still had that. I still had all the card notes. I still had all that. So I just said, I'm going to keep feeding your high yield savings account. My t-shirt business failed. What can I do? And I started reading podcasts about starting a home service business that people actually needs, that people actually has a problem with and that needs solving. That's what I did. So I started a landscaping company. And now we're into construction. So that's even better because it's a problem that I can solve that people needs. Okay, landscaping is a luxury. It helps bring the outlook of your home, and it depends on the landscaping too, because sometimes it can just add more percentage to your home. Like if your home is worth more, it can raise the value of your house if you do it correctly. And concrete can too. Construction can too. And so now, since I developed that skill set from listening to podcasts, watching YouTube, and going out there taking a risk, walking by faith through Christ, taking a risk, I left my 9 to 5. When I left, I put in my 2-week notice. And then I also, my last week, I worked for 11. I was on vacation for 11 days on my last week because I left my job. And I celebrated my last day when I took my 2-week notice in and on my vacation, and I did my vacation within my 2-week notice. I celebrated. They were like, what are you celebrating? Why? They thought I was crazy. But I was celebrating for me because that was a victory for me. And they said, okay, this free food. Okay. Did they care about me leaving? Absolutely not. Your job don't care about you leaving because they can replace you as quick as you left. They can replace you really quick. So they didn't care, but I celebrated. They thought I was crazy because I celebrated, and people thought that, man, if you quit, you quit. You just leave and go. But I celebrated to share my victory with myself by putting myself first, by investing in myself. And then after I did that, I said, I'm taking an 11-week vacation, and then my supervisor, he's nosy. Where are you going? I was like, I'm just going on a bucket list that I have, something personal that I want to. Oh, okay. And then I went to the beach. I actually went to the ocean, and I never been to the ocean because I couldn't afford it. I live in the middle of the United States, so I couldn't afford it, but I was actually able to afford it. So I went to the ocean, me and my family, my wife. We went to go see my brother that lives on the West Coast. I love it. I was like, wow, this is the ocean? I was able to do my dreams. And then I said, when I get back to my home, I have to get my business going. And so I started buying the right equipment for my business. And after I started buying this is like a testimony, but this is also sharing with you what I did with my money. So I started buying equipment. I started going door knocking, cold calling, which is called cold calling, door knocking. I saw a problem. Miss Jones had a tree hanging. So I hopped up there, cut it off, made $70 in 30 minutes by cutting her tree off. And then she gave me more work because she thought I was cheap. She said, that's really reasonable. She thought I wasn't cheap, but reasonable. I'm sorry. And then so she gave me more work. Can you get all these vines along the fence? I said, yes, that's another XYZ. So, and then she said, my neighbor has the same problem with the same vines on the other side. So I made another XYZ. So in one day, I was able to accumulate like $500 off of 2 people, which was amazing, versus me working 2 weeks, only getting maybe $1,200 in 2 weeks after taxes. And I did that in one day. I was blown away. I said, there it go. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. There it go. And Alex Ramosi, he's one of the richest, smart marketers around. He said, if you find something that's working well, do it over and over and over. And that's what I did. When I found that open door, I said, I can do it and keep doing it. And now I'm doing it. Now I'm finna get ready. I just left the gym right now and stuff. As you can see, I got on my gym clothes. I'm finna go get on my work clothes and go do my work anytime I want. I have customers. I have employees. Yes, I do have to be a boss, but that's me because I'm able to do that. And then the second thing, what I did was I started investing in stocks like ETFs and stuff because I didn't have a lot of money to do things. So I started putting little into my portfolio. I started putting little at a time. And next thing you know, my dividends was able to pay me. It wasn't that much at the time because I was starting off. I was still a baby. I'm still a baby. I'm still learning the market. I'm still learning. And since I'm putting my money into those stocks and the dividends is paying me back each month, I'm happy. I'm able to grow in that avenue. That's another stream of income that I'm doing. Besides my home service, I'm doing another stream. And then another stream of income that's making money itself, which is my high yield savings account. And then now YouTube for me. YouTube is working for me because people is clicking the links, joining my community. People is donating money to me to support my page. People is sending me. People is buying the links or getting into the links in my videos and becoming affiliate marketers. I made money. I'm making money off that. So all those streams of income is coming in, and I'm happy. And you could do it too. YouTube might not be for you. If YouTube is not for you, I promise you, do me this favor. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm telling you what works for me and millions of other people. Open you a high yield savings account. That's enough. I challenge you to open up a high yield savings account. If you're doing that, type it in the comment section. I'm finna open up a high yield savings account. I want to see some feedback. Or if you already do, what's next? And if you want to know what's next, join my community and the link in the description, my free community. I'm going to start posting what I did, the steps I did, and how it helped me money-wise. And it could do the same for you. You don't have to be on YouTube to make money. You can still do it like that with having investments into ETFs, into crypto, into stocks, and still be okay. And then start your business if you want to do that. Or you can still work your 9 to 5 and let your 9 to 5 be your side hustle. And you could do dividend stocks full time and still kill it and say, I don't need this job. This is just my side hustle. You want that mindset attitude. And those are the things that I did, and it can work for you. And I hope this blesses you guys. If it is, type it in the comment section. I'm ready. Or that you're getting ready to open up a high yield savings account. If you have any questions and comments, type it in the comment section. Thank you and God bless.